Warning. Gory Storytime is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Welcome to Gory Storytime. Episode...
No,
okay. I am your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and father, Craig, and this is a special non-canon episode, which we've done once before. We reviewed episode 1 of Strange Events at the Vilas Bridge. This is episode 2, which is called Fracture. Basically, I would suggest before listening to anything we're about to discuss, so that there's no spoilers, you
go watch them.
Episode 1. Episode 2's not on the website yet, but the trailer is, and it just had the premiere at the movie theater yesterday, which we were at.
So as soon as we got the chance, we came here to spoil it for you guys.
But basically, it picks up it seems like a few months after the events of the first one. And there's a lot of weird things going on involving the character of Kara.
And KMO.
Well, that's not the character's name. It's Officer Dan.
Don.
It's Officer Dan.
Well, it's supposed to be Don, but they got it wrong in the first one.
Well,
he wrote it as Don. They couldn't pronounce it. That's what they told me.
Anyway, not the point. So, in order for, I would suggest watching the first one before you watch this one, just because that's
how it works.
One comes before two. And
you don't watch the review.
This story definitely is a continuation of the first one. So I highly recommend you watch the first one, and then as soon as this one's available, watch it before watching this. But anyway.
But first,
we have to
give a shout out. No.
First things first.
Oh, we gotta show a trailer.
So that people know what we're talking about. So roll that trailer.
Hey guys, are you guys still friends with Kara?
Why?
She was really rude to me just now.
The sight of you insults my eyes. Be gone, little troll.
In his agitated state, he pleads with unseen tormentors. He cowers and tries to ward off something or things that fly around his head.
Cults of Vermont? An occult history of New England? Aren't you a little young for this stuff?
We are going to have such a delightful time.
I want to part company on the best of circumstances. The last thing I want is a confrontation.
Stay away from us!
All right. So now, before we get into the, behind the scenes information, first things first.
The meat and beef of the show.
Yes, we have to actually give a shout out to our sponsors this week. As you know, every week we get real sponsors to actually pay us to talk about their products or services. That's how we have these fat stacks of cash. This week, Gory Storytime is brought to you by the Miss Bellows Falls calendar. Each month is a different beautiful lady from Bellows Falls posed in front of a Bellows Falls landmark, from the big clock downtown to the walk-in clinic. Anyway, the photographer of Miss Bells Falls calendar promises that between all 12 months, you will see at least the equivalent of one full set of teeth. That's the Miss Bells Falls calendar. Order with the code GST, and you will receive a DVD of behind the scenes of the shoot of the calendar.
And by Rockmaster DJ Services. If you're looking for a DJ for your wedding, birthday, house party, or even mitzvah,
now instead of stumbling, they're paying good money. You just blurred through that. Read that again, slowly, and enunciate.
By Rockmaster DJ Services. If you are looking for a DJ for your wedding, birthday, house party, or even your mitzvah, both bar and bat, then DJ Dan Rockmaster is your man. With the speed of a cheetah, his hands will mix and scratch all your favorite tunes. That's Rockmaster DJ Services, located in downtown Bells Falls. Tell him Gory Storytime sent you for a 10% discount.
All right. Just, you were like blurring through that mitzvah thing, and I was like, really? Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I can.
Go ahead. So these are the real facts, behind the scenes information for this episode.
The studio went through 12 writers before they went with KMO. Some of the previous scripts were written by James Gunn, Kevin Smith, Eli Roth, J.J. Abrams, and even one Stephen King wrote while dropping a deuce.
Don Tretler said that the hardest thing he had to do for his part was to cut off his luxurious curly blonde locks to play a character who was follically challenged.
While nobody can figure out how, Ian, who plays Gabe, is actually 2 months younger than he was in the first episode. On the other hand, Colin has aged roughly 16 years.
George Powers originally had the most lines in the episode, but to trim the runtime down from 2 hours to just under a half hour, they dropped the B story where he went on a secret mission to stop a Russian nuclear threat.
Well, of course. You don't want to have all the confusion with the main story and the B stories. The soundtrack consists of unreleased tracks by Tupac, Elvis, Eazy-E, Michael Jackson, Jerry Garcia, Notorious B.I.G., Prince, Kurt Cobain, and Mac Miller. I almost said Mac Lethal.
Different.
Very different. All singing their own versions of Never Gonna Give You Up at a karaoke bar.
The Miss Bellows Falls Diner was played by actress and comedian Rosie O'Donnell's left thigh. The actress said it smelled like blue cheese that had sat out in the hot sun.
Oh. Dang. Kara Lascord, who played Kara in the episode, learned how to talk to herself by following co-star Colin Kimball around. That is why the other her sounds not only evil, but sarcastic.
True. The Rockingham Library has been in both episodes of Strange Events. Ironic, because only 30% of the crew can read, and 3 of them are blind and use Braille.
You learn something every day.
You do.
Newcomer Dan Gabry is actually the secret identity of Superman's third cousin, Bob L.
You alright? Don't laugh at the facts. Facts don't care about your feelings.
Right. His superpowers include being faster than a speeding ticket, able to leap over the cracks into the Bells Falls sidewalks, and of course, Oscar caliber acting.
True. Now, here's an interesting thing. Inspired by the movie Jaws, they did the same thing. Remember, Jaws actually had an official name for the shark, which was Bruce, but they never said it in the script. They never said it, but everyone, the cast and crew called it that. Similar thing with this. Like the shark in Jaws, the gun in this episode was given a name by the cast that was never uttered in the show. I believe it was Pepe Le Pew Pew.
For tax purposes, filming took place in Atlanta, Georgia. The big buildings were painted to look like maple trees, giving it the real feel of Vermont.
True. Brian Bashaw, who has actually moved on to Brattleboro's television studio, like their version of community television, BCTV, came back to help with filming of this episode because he had run out of the fat stacks of cash he was paid for his work on the first one. Apparently, he bet it all on the team playing against the Harlem Globetrotters. And when asked what the hell he was thinking, he said, "Well, I guess I expected their streak to end eventually."
Makes sense. Alex Stradling directed this episode between his regular duties as the newest member of The View.
True. A new cult, religion, has now been created based on the 2 episodes of Strange Events at Vilas Bridge. People are worshiping whatever that thing is that took over Kara's body. If you are interested in learning the truth, join us Thursday at the Church of the Holy Possession at 6 p.m.
Andrew Malchuk was only in one scene because after his career took off from the first Vilas Bridge episode, the studio couldn't afford him for the whole shoot.
True. The cabin in the woods from the scene where Officer Dan got a ride home was also used in the movie The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
That's good. The Vilas Bridge in the film was all created digitally by a 3-year-old on an iPad. He wasn't paid for his efforts because, as Alex said about the topic, who's gonna tell? Who's he gonna tell? He's only 3.
That's true. After being nominated for Best Actress in a Drama Series, Kara Lascord commands a salary of $1.5 million per episode, making her the highest paid actress in the history of the Greater Bellows Falls area. And yes, that includes Saxton's River.
Producers are hoping to sell the show to the CW to be added to the Arrowverse, along with The Flash, Supergirl, and more. If the sale goes through, it will be a hard reboot in which the cast is all black.
Makes sense. A documentary about the filming of Strange Events at the Vilas Bridge, entitled Strange as It Ever Was, premiered at the Sundance Film Festival, receiving a 23-minute standing ovation. When asked how it did so well, producer, director, editor Alex Stradling said, "How the hell would I know? People like a lot of crap." Now, let's get into our favorite and least favorite scenes.
You want to go first?
Sure. I would say my favorite scene, was probably where it was just because, to break the tension when Dan, who I'm not sure what his character's name was, Zeke, when he came into the diner to talk to Kieran and Gabe. They had left, and then he saw that there was food left on the plate, so he grabbed it and took a bite. I thought that was actually kind of funny, just to, because all this stuff's happening and they're trying to figure it out, and then in the middle of like the tension that the kids are feeling, one kid's like,
"I'm hungry. I'll eat this
free
extra
bite of a
bite."
burger.
Right.
I just thought that was funny.
My favorite scene would probably have to be the very last scene.
Okay.
Just because of 2 things. One, I thought that it was weird but awesome that just randomly that Captain Black guy would decide to show up unexpectedly, in my opinion.
Well, they showed kind of a setup for that earlier in it.
Right, but I thought that was going to be, like, when he dug up the gun with the box, I thought that it was going to be for, I don't know, the demon cop. It turned out it wasn't, but I thought it was awesome that, well, really, it was because of that song. I really liked that song. So I'm going to have to go with that last scene.
Okay. For my least favorite thing, it's not even a scene, because I actually thought that everybody in the production, all the actors, they did a really good job. Ian has shown some growth in his acting. Kara and Colin both did too. I thought they did a good job. Even Dan, who this was his first time in an episode of this, I know he's done some filming or whatever in middle school or something.
Yeah.
But, he was showing, the beginnings of having the chops. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Practice makes perfect, but he did a really good job. I thought they all did. So what I will say is my least favorite thing is the Wilhelm scream. When I heard that thing, I was like, oh my God, why? It is so overused. It is so ridiculous. Every time I hear it, it pulls me out of whatever I'm watching. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's this show, a TV show, a movie. Every single time, a shudder. It's like, what? Nobody else knows how to scream. You have to use
it
overdone
would be
sound effect.
way more believable if they got Anne to scream for them.
Yeah. Anyway, the point is, I think that there was enough screams that KMO was producing in that scene. When I heard the Wilhelm scream, I was like, come on, really?
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
A little bonus thing that I like, though, because I don't like talking smack about this because I know the hard work that went into it. I thought it was cool that a bathroom was kind of used as someone's cell.
Cell?
I
Right.
thought that was an interesting thing, but that's just because I happen to know
That's
where
the
they filmed
guy's
it,
bathroom. Right.
But I thought that was interesting.
My least favorite part
Yes.
is that it actually has less to do with anything in it and more to do with all of the stuff not in it.
What do you mean?
It was only a half hour, right? The first one was about 40 minutes, right? And it left too many questions.
Yeah, but it was meant to be a cliffhanger.
So my least favorite part is that they're not out in a field shooting the third one right now.
Well, then, I think we can resoundingly say, damn them for not having begun episode 3 yet.
Right.
Anyway, so I would say if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, because I know what, kind of goes into it and stuff, I'm going to give them an 8. Because some of it has to do with, what local TV station produces stuff like that, like in the community with the community? Like, I've seen a lot of stuff, including our show, online that are from community television channels, and it's a lot of people just talking into the camera and sitting behind a desk like we do. And to have it be, or like, a one camera shot where it's, where they're interviewing people, which those can be interesting, don't get me wrong.
Right.
We do it ourselves. But the idea that, a crew goes out and, one of the actresses, or the actress, the main actress, also helped with makeup, and, it was like a community doing it together, and I just think that that's awesome.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So
8.
I'm probably going to have to go with an 8 too.
Okay.
The acting could be worse.
Definitely.
So
Have you seen The Room?
no, actually.
Good.
Have you seen the Maniac movie that
Yes.
we keep hitting on? Okay. That's besides the point.
So I would say, since we are the only official reviewers who have currently reviewed it, then I would say the Rotten Tomato score is at 100% right now.
At least the audience.
We're not the audience.
Well, it can't be at 100. It would be 80 because we're...
No, that's not how it goes. If it's a positive review,
Oh, really?
it's positive versus negative. That's how their percentages go.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, my.
So, good job at the 100. Now we have to just go quickly and post it on Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
This thing you've never heard of is at 100.
We could do it on Wikipedia. They let anybody change anything, so...
Anyway, so let's give
Wrap
our
up.
wrap-up information.
So, you can watch the show on Thursdays at 8:30 and Fridays at 7.
On Channel 8.
On Channel 8. Fact TV Channel 8, yep. You can email us. That's
gorystorytime@yahoo.com. You can give us ideas of things to watch and review. You can, email us with, comments about the show, whatever.
You can tell us how much you love learning so much actual stuff about the people in your town.
And we also have Twitters.
Oh, well, like us on Facebook.
Yes, like us
Like
on
them
Facebook.
on Facebook.
Yep.
This might be
Look for
live,
Gory
so...
Look for Gory Story Time and look for
Fact 8.
Fact 8.
Fact TV.
You go, Fact TV. You can also look for. They have a YouTube channel which is Falls Area Community Television. You look for that, you'll find it.
And
I
it's got
have
the
one.
first episode up there.
All one word. It's Juggalo Jakes, all lowercase.
Yep. We both have Twitters.
Which mine is at Craig Jakes, all lowercase, all one word.
I'm at Jason T. Jakes, capital J, capital T, capital J.
And,
We don't talk about the show.
but we
Do offend.
do tweet. And I guess that's about it for Gory Story Time this week.
So until next time, I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig.
And sweet dreams.